Good morning, everyone. Myself, Kausar Momin, your science teacher, 7th standard, subject science, chapter number 13, changes. There can be a physical or chemical. So, we are going to discuss about in this chapter physical and chemical changes. Okay, so let's recall what are the cause of changes occurring in our surroundings. Have you ever seen there can be a changes? What type of changes you have seen? Can you recall in your mind? Wait, I'll tell you what type of changes are there. Every day you are having curd with your meal. From where it comes? Have you ever think about this? So obviously, answer is curd comes from milk. Next change, ice. In your fridge, from where ice comes? It comes from water. Sprout. Heating or boiling water, crackling fires, burning wood. All these types of changes are happening in our surroundings. Okay, so do you think is there any reason behind this, or you can name it as what kind of change it is, whether it is physical or chemical? What type of change? Can you recognize this type of changes, or what type of changes are these one, whether it is chemical change or physical change? So these type of changes are happening in our surrounding day to day life. So we can name it as, we can give the specific functional area of the same thing, and that is physical and chemical. Okay, so I will show you one video. Please see the video and concentrate with the video. You can understand very easily, like if the changes are happening in our surroundings. So we can name in science, we are having the specific names for these changes, and the names are physical and chemical. So specific changes comes with physical, specific changes comes with the chemical. So please go ahead with the video part. Physical and chemical changes. So here we are having leaf. One is fresh and green leaf, another one is dry, which is having color brown. Can the dry leaf made becomes fresh? Obviously no. So this comes in a chemical change, which cannot reverse with its original position. So here are the examples for physical changes and chemical changes. We will go with one by one. These are the objectives which we have to study with this. Now here 1 glass of water pour with ice tray, and after some time, if you remove that ice tray, you can feel that ice is there. So see, this is one ice and water, both are having same water molecule, obviously. Now can you tell me what type of change it is? The water is freezing, and after freezing, ice we are getting, liquid is converted into solid, but the molecules which are present in it, they are same. So in a physical change, only the physical properties of the substance change and no new substance is formed. Okay, so ice can be converted into water also. After heating ice, it can convert into water. Most physical changes can be reversed. So we are having examples: melting of ice cream, chopping of wood, bending of wire, breaking of glass, and breaking of pencil. All these changes comes in a physical changes. Now if you consider a wooden tree, so it is having same molecules, but if you burn wood, then it is converted into ash. Can ash converts to the wood? Obviously no. So hence we can say it as it is chemical change. Ash cannot be changed back to wood. So it is completing changing the property. So in a chemical change, the chemical properties of a substance change and new substance is formed. So it is not reversible, so we can name it as irreversible. So we are having example for chemical changes: burning of paper, rusting of iron, cooking of rice, curding of milk, ripening of fruits. All these are the example for chemical changes. In this all example, you can observe here, if paper is going to become burned, then there it cannot come with its original one. Rusting of iron, cooking of rice, if you cooked rice, then it cannot convert into raw rice, right? Curding of milk, if curd is there, then it cannot convert into milk again. Ripening of fruits, all these are the example for chemical changes. So we have studied previously changes like ripening of fruits, boiling of milk occur naturally. These are called natural changes. Obviously fruit ripens naturally. Okay, milk can spoil naturally. So this type of changes we can name it as natural change. Can you think other examples for the same? Think about it. Many changes such as sharpening of pencil, baking bread, cooking food are useful to us, and these are called as useful changes. Okay, obviously if you sharp the pencil, definitely you cannot convert into again pencil size of pencil, right? Then cooking food, if you cook your food, so you have to eat. Okay, so all these changes are too useful for us, so these changes are naming it as useful changes. If there can be a question, write down useful changes and harmful changes. So you should know about what is useful and what is harmful. So harmful changes means the changes that is useful or changes that is harm. Like few changes are there which is harmed, through that which we are getting harm. So sometimes such type of changes are called as harmful changes. So what are the harmful changes? Can you give me any example for harmful change? Spoiled food. If you eat a spoiled food, then obviously your stomach is having a pain and few problems with your stomach, then that comes in a harmful change, right? The duration of the bursting of a balloon is far shorter than the ripening of a fruit. Changes that take place a short period of time called fast or quick change. Like bursting of a balloon is a fast change. Ripening of a fruit is a slow change. So we can say a fast change and slow change. As we have seen natural change, we have seen harmful change, useful change, fast change, slow change. In the name of change, there are many more changes are over there. So please write down all types of changes in your notebook, okay? Now next is melting some wax and obtaining the original solid wax again is something that we can do repeatedly. Obviously if candle is melting, we are having some substances over there, so we can make a thread and we can insert in it, and obviously the melted wax is going to convert it into solid form and we can reuse it again, right? The changes that occur in a forward and reverse direction again and again are called as reversible changes. Okay, so that means we can use the thing again and again. Suppose water is there, from water if you freeze the water we are getting ice. If you are melting ice, then we are getting again water. Again if you freeze the water, then it is converted to ice. If you are melting ice, then again it is converted to water. So it is happening again and again. Changes are happening again and again. So that type of change is called as a reversible change. That type of change is called as reversible change. Now how many changes we have seen? Natural change, harmful change, useful change, fast change, slow change, reversible change, right? And here itself you can make another definition for exactly opposite of reversible change, that is irreversible change, which comes in ripening of fruit. If your fruit is going to get ripe, then it won't come in its original, uh, so that comes in a irreversible change. So on considering the above examples, we find that some changes occur again and again after a definite interval of time. Such changes are called as periodic changes. Suppose you can take example for water itself, it is coming again and again, again and again, again and again. So that is periodic changes. On the other hand, it cannot be said for sure when certain changes will recur after one occurrence. Even if they are recurred, the time interval is not fixed. Such changes are called as non-periodic changes. Like non-periodic changes are not having a fixed timing, right? So that is called as non-periodic changes. Change is there, but it is non-periodic change. So example for periodic changes: sunrise, right? And what about non-periodic change? High tide in sea. This comes in non-periodic change. It is not coming again and again, again and again. But whenever sunrise is there, that means it comes on a specific time only, every day. Okay, so that comes in periodic, and high tide comes in non-periodic. So you can differ this with these examples. Please differ this periodic and non-periodic changes. You can clearly understand this thing. Now we are with physical change and chemical change. If you'll observe all these examples, then you can clearly understand what type of change is physical and what type of change is chemical. So now we are having here examples. Like first example, which of the changes have shown in picture alongside a temporary? Which of the changes are permanent? So which change is temporary, which change is permanent? Tell me. Is this temporary or permanent? Obviously temporary. Now this temporary, this permanent, this temporary. Okay, in which of the changes did the original matter undergo a change? Which is changing? This one and this one. In which of the changes was a new substance with a new property formed? So new property is forming over here. New property is forming over here. Size is changes, right? So we can say in the above example of changes, the properties of original substances remain same. That is, their composition remains unchanged. No new substance is formed. Such a change is called physical change. As we have seen, I have shown you in the video a part of physical or chemical change. Okay, so please keep in mind these changes. The change due to which one substance is transformed into another substance having new different properties is called chemical change. So ripening of food is chemical change. Okay, now here iron is there and iron is accepting few pieces of iron ore. So these are getting attracted towards the iron. So if you remove these substances, then it is going to be separated. So this is physical change. Now here a rose is forming. Obviously this is chemical change. Now from ice is going to convert it into water. Again we can convert this ice to water. So this comes in a physical change. So we are having definition of physical change and chemical change. So please note down these definitions in your notebook. The properties of original substances remain the same. That is, their composition remains unchanged. No new substance is formed. Such change is called as physical change. Write down definition for physical change here to here. Now next definition for chemical change, that is this one. The change due to which one substance is transformed into another substance having new different properties is called chemical change. The process of formation of vapor from a liquid is called evaporation. Vapor formation from a liquid. You have seen at home that liquid is heating. At that time, if your water is boiling, then some vapors are outcoming. If you heat more and more heat, then your water is going to decreases and the formation of vapor is increases. So process of formation of vapor from liquid is called as evaporation. Okay, what is the meaning of evaporation? Definition for evaporation is the process of formation of vapor from liquid is called evaporation. Drying of clothes, formation of salt from seawater are possible due to evaporation. From seawater we are getting a salt, so that is possible due to evaporation. Drying of clothes, obviously in the clothes water presence, when you are washing your clothes then they get dried, so obviously water is evaporate. So all these things are happening due to evaporation. So for the evaporation you can give the example: drying of clothes, salt from seawater. We have studied some processes that are part of water cycle. Which are these processes? Do the original properties of water changes during the processes? So we are having properties: solid is going to convert it into liquid, liquid is going to convert it into gaseous. So these are water changes properties. We have learned about possible dissolving, boiling, melting. Okay, dissolve means some solid amount is dissolved in water. Boiling means water is heated and after boiling it gets evaporate. Melting means some ice is going to melt. So all these dissolving, boiling, melting, all these processes due to happening with the water, they are all the examples of physical changes. So whatever changes are there, all these changes we have seen, it comes in physical changes. So whenever you are defining physical changes, that time you can give many more examples. Next, here we are having examples for chemical changes. Making a table from wood, obviously it is not going to, if you make table, then that table is not going to convert into a wooden block. Burning wood, breaking of glass object, ripening of a tomato, using roasting of iron. So obviously this breaking of glass not comes in chemical change, because we can rejoin, and obviously some glass form is over there. So all this are not chemical itself. There can be a physical change also there. Breaking of glass comes in physical there change. Ripening of fruit comes in chemical change. Burning of wood comes in chemical change. Making a table from wood comes in physical change. Okay, so here we are having one example. We can do it at home. We can ask your mother also that to form of change. Okay, please ask this process to your mom. She will give you a very nice idea for the same. Take some sugar in evaporating dish. Place the dish on a tripod and heat it. Observe the changes taking place in the sugar. Stop heating. When a blackish substance is seen at the bottom of the evaporating dish, what kind of change does the above process bring about? Obviously this is chemical change. Whatever substance is outcoming blackish, that obviously it is not going to convert it into sugar again. So this type of change is chemical change. Okay, you may have seen iron parts at your home. When an iron articles rust, a reddish brown layer forms on it. A greenish layer is seen to form on copper article. This process is called corrosion of metals. Things become weak due to corrosion. Corrosion caused by oxygen, moisture, vapors of chemicals in the air. You may have some articles or utensils, copper utensils at your home. Ask your mom to, if we are not going to wash it, and if we just keep it at any place, with air, if you put in water, so some layer forms on it, that is corrosion. Okay, so a greenish layer seen from a copper article, this process is called as corrosion of metals. Corrosion of metals means a greenish layer is seen to form on a copper article. This process is called corrosion of metals. You may have utensils at your home, copper utensils and all, so you can ask your mom, is there any layer forms on, if you are not washing it properly, so is there any layer on it? So you can see on the layer on it, that layer is corrosion. Okay, so things become weak due to corrosion. Whatever utensils you are using, that utensils become thin, weak. Corrosion is caused by oxygen, moisture, vapors of chemicals in the air. So your homework is, I am not giving any homework with another way. In the video itself I am giving you homework. Write down the definition for chemical change, definition for physical change, then definition for periodic change, okay, definition for non-periodic change, next definition for reversible change, next definition for fast change or slow change, we can say from here to here. Okay, fast change and slow change. Then definition for useful changes, harmful changes, from this to this. Open your notebook, you can write it very easily. If you are not having your notebook, then pause the video and write down. Okay, natural change, so all the changes you have to write. Okay, so I'll stop my lecture over here. If you have any doubt, please give me a message, I'll solve your doubt. Thank you.